Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, happy Friday to those of you out there. It's Friday, 2:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the beautiful city of Dania. All right, and we're just a kid from Dania, and we're gonna talk some boxing. So, interesting news. It was reported yesterday by a number of news outlets, but the one I have in front of me is Ring Magazine, ringtv.com, so much credit to them. It says that Errol the Truth Spence Jr. and Mikey Garcia are closing in on a deal for a February pay-per-view bout. Um, wow, that's big news. It's in boxing, you can never get too excited about articles or things like this because it's not concrete. And I've always been in the belief that if there's no TV date, there's no TV network, there's no venue formally announced in place, then it's not happening. It's not even a formality. So, with that being said, it's not really happening. I see a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people on social media getting excited about this, and I'm using this video as a warning to any and all boxing fans who may be excited about this matchup to not get too crazy because there's a couple of things you may consider, and I'm gonna report to you guys some of the things that were reported in this article. For one, it's a pay-per-view fight on Showtime with two of Al Heyman's biggest names. Now you're gonna ask me why, Brendan? Why is this important? It's important because, to quote a good friend of mine in the boxing world, shout out to Rick Glazer, Al Heyman routinely overpays fighters. Done it his whole entire time, especially ever since he got that massive hedge fund money from Waddell and Reed. And when you get into big pay-per-view events like this, guys like Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence, who are used to being paid a certain amount, are going to want double for a fight that actually means something. And in the case of Mikey Garcia, he's already a diva as it is, so you have that working against this fight happening. You have the fact that Errol Spence, it's pegged and it's slated to be in Dallas, Texas, which would mean that Mikey Garcia is the B-side. And Mikey Garcia has never been the B-side to anybody. He's always been a guy that wants to control, dictate terms. That's why he couldn't get any fights when he was a top ring, and that's why it was so difficult for Bob Arum to work with him. And then on top of that, you got Garcia talking about how he's going to visit Victor Conte and he's going to start lifting weights and all this stuff. So you're talking about a number of factors here. You got the high demands from both fighters to make the fight happen. You have Mikey Garcia in his diva-ish ways and never conceding to anybody's demands and wanting to be the free agent and wanting to dictate terms. And then you have the fact that Mikey Garcia will have to basically, just bulk up and wait. And I just don't see a world where that's possible. Mikey Garcia's, in boxing, fighters know who they can and they can't beat. And there's no way how Mikey Garcia really believes he can beat Errol Spence going up to that weight class. Maybe skills-wise, he's more skillful than Errol Spence, but he cannot go up there and beat Errol Spence. He knows that. I know that. I think, to me personally, this is all smoke and mirrors for Mikey Garcia's next fight, whether it be against Comey or another mandatory opponent. It's what he does routinely. And this is not me hating. You just look at the track record. You can go back and look at videos from 2016 that I was making about Mikey Garcia, 2017 that I was making about Mikey Garcia. He's routinely done this throughout the course of his career. So I'm calling a spade a spade. But in the event, let's talk about if this fight does happen. In the event that it does happen, I think it'd be great for boxing. I think it's a fight that you'd have to favor Errol Spence to win. And I think Mikey Garcia would be in a world of hurt if he ever took that fight. So, yeah, man. Just we'll follow it as it goes along. But I just don't see how it couldn't be smoke and mirrors because it's no different than when he fought Lomachenko, right? He met Lomachenko, and there was all this talk about fighting him at 135. He goes up to 140, fights Sergey Lipinets. Then he fights Robert Easter Jr. and fights the weakest champion in the division. Granted, it was the invocation fight, so we'll give him a little bit of credit. But he picked the weakest of the champions in the division, and he didn't give the people the fights they wanted to see. So when you factor in Garcia, when you factor in Heyman, when you factor in any demands Errol Spence might be making that we don't know about, it's just a recipe for disaster. And there's no way in hell that a fight of this magnitude will get done. And the only way it does get done is if Al Heyman opens up that wallet and really decides that this fight is worth making and overpays these guys massive amounts of money. So that's my overall take on it. We'll follow it as it happens. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Mikey Garcia Errol Spence Jr. February, Dallas, Texas, Showtime pay-per-view. That's what's being talked about right now. So yeah, we'll follow Mikey Garcia's Smoke and Mirrors career, and we'll follow the how Al Heyman and PBC choreograph this one. Looking forward to seeing this one. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.